All right, guys. This is Tim from Every Cow Counts, and you know, I want to make a video today on grass-fed beef and the benefits that we can get from grass-fed beef. And really, the benefits of grass-fed beef relative to grain-fed beef, are the most common beef that you find. And the reason why I want to make this video, guys, is because I've spoken to a few people here recently that, when you talk to somebody about weight loss, the first thing they want to do is tell you all the good things that they've done. There's two things really that a lot of people want to cut out. The first thing is usually coffee for whatever reason. People think coffee is like, oh, I'm trying to cut back, man, like as if it's like cigarettes or something like that, it's going to take years off their lives or something. But, this isn't a video about coffee, guys. I'm not going to get too deep into it. But at the end of the day, if you like coffee, I love coffee. I have maybe 3 or 4 cups a day. I do drink some decaf. That's how much I like it. But at the end of the day, it's as long as I don't put any milk in mine, I don't put any cream in mine. I just do too sweet and low, so it's literally a calorie-free drink. There's no way that's really going to impact weight management, guys. So if anything, it might actually improve or make easier the weight management process. So but the video, guys, and the second thing that a lot of people want to cut out, and what the video is really largely about, is beef. People always, for whatever reason, let me know that they cut that out, along with these other things like sodas and coffees and stuff, to improve their chances at weight loss. And I think that the most important thing to tackle right now, at least nowadays, is the attention that beef in general has gotten. The media attention and via the outlet of things like China Study and Forks Over Knives and things of that nature, where they have said that protein or animal proteins, beef specifically in a lot of cases, are largely responsible for things like cancers and general disease in today's world. So to tackle that first and foremost, because again, I think there is a large group of people out there that have seen and read these types of information, and they get so hung up on it that they end up cutting out something like beef that can be so generally beneficial. And actually, as we go through this here, you're going to see it can be the exact opposite of what they're telling you. And first off, guys, just to kind of throw some justification my way, as I'm just some dude that's got a website versus these doctors on these movies. At the end of the day, guys, the reason why I started Every Cow Counts is to have a source of information where people can feel comfortable going to. I really don't gain. If anything, having this website actually cost me money. So the information that I have here is something that you can find, yourself online. It's just something where, I kind of feel compelled to give it here. And, when it comes to looking at, the benefits that those people got from things like the China Study and or Forks Over Knives, one of it was largely validating, somebody's life's work. So why wouldn't they manipulate certain information or leave out certain details to prove their point? And again, validate their life's work. And then on the other side of it, what movie have you guys ever seen that wasn't about the almighty dollar? I mean, if somebody's, telling you otherwise, it's an absolute lie. Nobody puts the work into a movie to not make money on it. I mean, they are making money. And, sometimes when they are trying to grab an audience, they will make a message much easier to consume. And therefore, they have to leave out some details that might, argue their point. And the point is, that when you look at these types of films that say that animal protein or beef is so, horrible for you, they don't ever talk about the quality of the product, or the type of beef that they're analyzing, I guess you could say, to get this data that's showing that it causes cancer and all types of disease. And there's a lot of other holes in their theories, but this today is what we'll talk about. So their whole concept behind beef causing cancer and diseases is that it promotes a pro-inflammatory environment inside the body, which again, that inflammation has been linked back to things like disease and cancer. This is very true. Omega-6 is prevalent in the American diet, and omega-6 is found in poor ratios with omega-3 in things like grain-fed beef, or your common beef that you're buying from the grocery store, for whatever it is, $4 and change a pound or whatever it might be. But again, my point that I'll argue here is on the other side. When you look at grass-fed beef, the whole concept of purchasing grass-fed beef is the fact that it's fed grass, where the content of fat in grass is largely alpha-linoleic acid, or ALA, omega-3, and the ratios of omega-3 to omega-6 in grass-fed beef is so much higher, so much more weighted towards the omega-3 than the omega-6 that it actually creates or supports the body's anti-inflammatory response. So it's actually the exact opposite of what they're telling you. It could actually improve the body's inflammation markers. It's also, omega-3 is not just that, guys. In terms of the general benefits of beef, and not just, getting into a war here with people that like the China study and forks over knives, is, omega-3 could be great for a lot of different people. It could improve things like joint function. It could help lower cholesterol levels, improve blood flow, and improve blood pressure, hypertension, improve brain health. There's insulin sensitivity. So when you're talking about weight management, there's so much benefit there. And again, if you want to bring up weight management, the other thing that's found prevalently in grass-fed beef that's not found in grain-fed beef is its content of CLA, or conjugated linoleic acid. CLA has been shown in a lot of different studies to help support weight management. And through a lot of different pathways too. Whether it's inhibiting lipoprotein lipase, improving liposis, improving lean mass development. CLA has been shown to do a lot of positives, and in fact, it's actually been shown very recently to have anti-cancer benefits. So, and those studies are actually pretty promising, and they are doing a lot of work to further those studies. So, who knows where that goes? But it is interesting when you look at the argument that grain-fed beef causes cancer. And again, I'm not going to argue that one way or another, whether it does or whether it doesn't, because I don't prefer grain-fed beef, and I don't recommend grain-fed beef. But the fact of the matter is that we have CLA, omega-3, things that actually have anti-cancer benefits in grass-fed beef. So the other things that you're going to find a little bit more prevalent or beneficial, I guess you could say, in grass-fed beef versus grain-fed is actually, and normally I wouldn't bring something up as minimal as like vitamin E, but there's actually a notable difference in things like vitamin E content in grass-fed beef versus grain-fed beef. It is lower in overall fat, grass-fed beef is, than grain-fed beef. But again, guys, I think the other reason that people cut beef out is specifically because of its fat content, and even though fat is 9 calories per 1 gram, and that's most certainly something we have to consider when we're looking at our daily caloric needs and macronutrient needs, it's I hope most of us are past that 80s nonsense that fats are so negative for us when it comes to weight loss. Obviously they can have a lot of benefits. We just went over a lot of those. So to get certain sources of fat in your diet is immensely important. And this is grass-fed beef is a great source of fat. If we ate all of our fat sources from grass-fed beef, most of us would be much healthier individuals for that. The next biggest concern, though, for most people, and I think the reason why a lot of females specifically will cut out beef is, its digestibility. It would stand to reason that grass-fed beef is much more digestible than grain-fed beef, based off of some of the values that we spoke about. And actually things like CLA have actually been shown to actually reduce inflammation in the intestine specifically. So people with Crohn's, people with IBS, things like that, they actually might benefit in terms of the digestive health from this. But again, in terms of the general public, a lot of people will cut that out because of its digestibility. So I don't I think digestion is something that's very individualistic. So I don't want to say that, you can eat grass-fed beef, you don't have to worry about any digestive issues. That might be based on how much fiber you take in today, how many servings of greens you have, so on and so forth. So, I don't necessarily want to say that you'll be 100% okay eating grass-fed beef if you have digestive issues with grain-fed beef, but if you stay away from grain-fed beef specifically because that it's in itself is causing digestive issues, you should definitely give grass-fed beef a shot, because again, it does have a ton of health benefits, and it could really benefit us in our weight management journey. But again, guys, the most important thing, that I try to preach when it comes to dieting and weight management, and whether, again, weight management always means whether it's getting bigger or losing weight. At the end of the day, it's lifestyle adjustments that we're trying to make here, and being able to eat a specific way for the rest of our lives. We need as many choices in our diet as humanly possible. You'll probably get better results with a more broad range of nutrient intake, and not only that, but from something that tastes good, like something making your diet a little bit more palatable is extremely important. This is the way you're going to eat for the rest of your life. Cutting out something like beef, so you're going to not have burgers as much. You're going to not have tacos as much. All these tasty things that come with grass-fed beef, and it makes it fit our macros much easier when we go to grass-fed. So, I just think that we need to take another look at beef, and take another look at grass-fed beef specifically, and see, that it could actually benefit us in a lot of different ways when it comes to our weight management goals and our weight management journey. And I don't think that we should be so quick based off of, a silly documentary or even a silly study, to dismiss it from our diet or dismiss it from our lifestyles. This is actually the fourth take that I've done on this video, so I'm sure that I've missed a lot of information. I do have some notes here, and I really just breezed right past them on this take. So, if there's anything that I missed out, that you guys want me to type up a short blog post, please feel free to contact me, everycowcounts.com or everycowcounts@yahoo.com, or just comment in the section below. And again, I'll be more than happy to add to this post. But again, guys, grass-fed beef in the diet, grain-fed beef out of the diet. Tim from Every Cow Counts. I'm out.